And I want to wish you a very happy Sunday for wherever you are. And I'm doing a review on the episode Tanks for the Memories, season 5, episode 5. And one thing about this episode that I'm going to bring up is that in a lot of episodes that focus on Rainbow Dash or Rainbow Dash in general, I find her to be kind of a character I find hard to relate with. But this one, however, is one that I think is by far the best Rainbow Dash episode, and also one that I can actually relate with her in. Anyway, okay, here's. Oh, sorry about that. And hey, okay, winter. Okay, Rainbow Dash notices Cloudsdale is arriving there in Ponyville, which means she loves all the fun things she can do in it. And of course, she's talking to Tank about all the fun things they can do, like horse hockey, extreme skiing, the things that she loves. And of course, Tank is tired because, well, he's a tortoise, he's a cold blooded animal. And, well, when that time of year comes, they tend to get tired because they're about to hibernate. Anyway, Rainbow Dash is really concerned about this. So first she asks Twilight about it, and Twilight's like, oh, he looks tired and sleepy like he always does. So, Twilight's not exactly concerned. Rainbow Dash, however, is because she knows something's going on. And anyway, so then she takes Tank to Fluttershy, and Fluttershy, she knows what's going on. She ultimately she gets this book out and tells Rainbow Dash that Tank's going to hibernate. Dash, of course, is in denial. Fluttershy shows her the pictures of animals that hibernate. Tortoises are one of them, and she's like, "Oh God, he's not a bear, right?" Then she's like, "Oh yeah, that book, that someone put that picture in there in the book is a joke." And well, yeah, this is where we start the denial phase for Rainbow Dash, because then she goes and talks to Spike because she's like, "Oh, maybe she can get a better opinion from him." Well, Spike doesn't know the first thing about tortoises. So he simply says, hey, if Fluttershy says they hibernate, they guarantee they hibernate. And yes, Rainbow was saying, oh yeah, but you're in the same family, No, that's not the case at all. And then, then when they head back out and Tank starts trying to dig into the ground, getting ready to hibernate, Pinkie notices this, and well, the things she says involving him hibernating do not sit well with Rainbow Dash. And, well, she tells Pinkie, if you think that hibernating napping thing is so cute, go do it somewhere else far away from here. And now, then the rest of her friends show up. And then this is when she starts going into the anger phase because she yells at her friends over what's going on, saying that she's not angry. Do I look angry? Well, actually, yes, Rainbow Dash looked angry, very angry. And then Rainbow Dash starts doing things that might be able to help stop this, like stealing clouds. And then, oh, geez. Yeah, stealing clouds, trying to do what she can to stop winter. But, of course, doing such small things ain't going to work, as winter's still coming. And then, of course, we have the song where, during that song, I've always known that Dash cared a lot about Tank, but it was during that song that how much she truly loves Tank. Kind of odd, especially considering the fact that when back in May the Best Pet win, she wanted absolutely nothing to do with Tank because, well, he couldn't fly. But then ultimately, Rainbow Dash decides, when she heads back home after failing, she realizes, well, I'd rather have Tank awake in the heat than asleep in the cold. So then she comes up with this idea, she's going to stop winter. And she gets that Grinch face everyone loves. When he decided he was going to stop Christmas, he got that smile on his face. Dash gets the same thing for wanting to stop winter. So how does she do this? She decides she's going to break into the weather factory up in Cloudsdale and decide to stop it at the source. Well, first she's looking at things like clouds, snowflakes, trying to get rid of those things, but those won't do anything. So she decides break the tank that has the water in it because, hey, without water, they can't make clouds or snow. They can't make winter. So anyway, she starts breaking the hoses on that on the tank that holds the water, but then tank on his starts to drift on his propeller toward this. I don't know what you call it, but it ends up with this fan thing spinning, and Dash realizes that her beloved tank is about to get sucked into that thing, so she goes and grabs him. His propeller, however, gets sucked into it, jams it up, then causes all sorts of mayhem, and also town. Rainbow Dash winds up getting thrown into the room with the lightning bolts. Well, one of the jars with the lightning bolt in it broke, caused all sorts of mayhem, and then uh, Dash and Tank end up getting sucked into the weather machine, and ultimately they're launched out in towards Ponyville in a huge snowball. And when that snowball hits, it's full blown winter. And Dash, that's when she becomes really depressed because she knows that she's not going to be able to stop this, but she still doesn't want it to happen. And then once she's back in her house with Tank laying on her bed, really sad, and her friends come to try to comfort her, and well, that doesn't exactly work. And then Fluttershy says that, of course, Applejack says, Rainbow Dash, you haven't been yourself here lately. And then, of course, Rarity says, how do I put this? You lost your sparkle, Rainbow Dash. Okay, now this here makes me think of Izzy Moonbow and G5 and how she can detect the other pony's sparkle. It's like a parrot. So is this a sign that unicorns have been able to detect sparkles long before G5, or is this just mere coincidence of of the dialogue in the episode? And then Fluttershy, of course, she decides, okay, I'm going to put a stop to this. I'm going to put a stop to Rainbow Dash being so sad and like this. Your winter's going to be petless. And of course, Rainbow Dash starts crying in agony, and it's like, I can really relate with that. All of a sudden you realize your best friend's gonna be gone for a while. Although, of course, I'm gonna admit this flat out. When I first saw the episode, I believed that it was sort of symbolic of death. But then, of course, Rainbow Tank shows up in later episodes. This is really more a matter of it going through the stages of grieving. And then, of course, this is when Rainbow Dash hit the depression part of it, knowing that it's inevitable. And one thing that's kind of like, okay, Rainbow Dash cried at first, just starting to calm down a bit. Then, Fluttershy asks, oh, are you going to be okay? Then Rainbow starts crying again. Then Fluttershy starts crying. And then Rarity starts crying because she can't stand to see Fluttershy cry. I mean, come on, Rarity, it's Rainbow Dash that's devastated here. It's not Fluttershy. Like, if you're going to be sad about anyone crying, it should be her. Then, of course, Pinky starts crying too. Then, of course, Applejack says, oh, then Pinky says, oh, well, Applejack cries on the inside. Wrong. She's cried on the outside multiple times in the series, some before and some after this. And then finally, Rainbow Dash finally reaches the acceptance part where she finally realizes, okay, this isn't gonna, no matter what I try to do, it's not gonna happen. And well, Tank wants to hibernate anyway, so I'm going to, realize it has to happen. Then finally, Rainbow Dash ends up bringing Tank out and her saddlebags out, and where the rest of her friends were near this tree, and where she sets Tank down on the ground. And of course, she clears some snow off the ground, and then she asks him if he really wants to do this, and he's like shaking his head, yeah. And of course, Rainbow accepts that, but it's obvious that she is still very sad over it. And of course, her friends also start saying goodbye to Tank, and they know Dash is sad over this, so they're trying to be supportive. And then once Tank has finally dug into the ground and covered it up with the snow, Twilight's like, oh, do you want to be ready for some winter fun? And Rainbow Dash, no, I think I'm going to stay here and read to him for a bit. That little guy can never get to sleep on a bedtime story. My general advice there to Twilight is, your friend is still really sad. It's like, you really think she's going to be interested in winter fun? It's like, if I was in Rainbow Dash's situation, I certainly wouldn't be. But then again, also, there's another thing I'm going to admit as far as this episode goes. I hate winter with a passion. And I'll admit, I really wish Rainbow Dash would have succeeded in stopping winter, but then again, that would have ruined the whole point of the episode, would have destroyed the whole denial, the 5 stages of denial to acceptance. And anyway, one thing about this episode, it really made me see Rainbow Dash in a new light. That she isn't just this world class athlete, look at me, I'm flying, I can fly really good. It's that she does have very deep feelings for Tank. And anyway, well, this is the end of this review. Anyway, you have a good day, every pony. Bye.